All right, guys, we out here today in the big garden, and I've said a lot about Creasy Greens, and I've been telling you I'd try to do a video on that. This is one right here. I just harvested, and the way we do it here, I'll take my pocket knife and cut it just at the ground level. I hope I'm showing this good here. You want to leave everything intact, and you want to just cut that root off right there. And when I'll show you how we clean these in later on in the video, we'll show you how we do that. But these are something. Now, I have sowed this field right here. We sowed that back in the fall. I think it was right around Labor Day, if my memory serves me right. And I've got a good concentration of them right up through there. Other areas of the field are not quite as prevalent. Down in here, I guess it just stayed so wet on them down in here. I see one over there, 2, 3, 4, but there's, a few. But when you sow these, you sow them basically in the same fashion that you sow mustard or turnips or things of that nature, but you don't need these as thick. You could take a tablespoonful, would probably be a gracious plenty for a field this size right here, because if they get real thick, you won't have the vegetation, and the vegetation is what's good on them. You won't have the vegetation, you'll just have stems with a big leaf out here. That's pretty much all you'll have if you end up getting them too thick. But I thought I'd bring you along today. I'll show you how I harvest these. Now right here, this is a group that we have right here. This is they're kind of in here together, so I'm going to thin them out. I'm not taking all of them. And as you pull them off, you want to kind of pull away the trash or anything like that. That way, as you go, you can clean them, and they're not so aggravating to clean when you get them to the house. And if your wife does the cleaning, she'll appreciate it too. Okay, we're gonna walk around up here, and I'll come back down that way. I see I've got a few over there. But up this way is where, see, right there, and they are actually too thick right there. They need to be thinned out. But I'm gonna grab a few right here. And just because they're small, that don't mean they're not good. And guys, you can can these just like you would any other green. I cut that one a little sideways, but that's all right. But you take and fix these just like you would, mustard greens or kale or anything like that. You want to just cook them till they're good and tender, and you can season them with your favorite seasonings. Some people don't eat pork, I understand that, and you don't have to use that. We have used in the past, I have put some onions with some olive oil and butter. That works just fine. So if you choose, to do it that way, that's fine. All right, I'm gonna go on up here. Now there's a pretty one. I've got some that are further up here. They are wild. These will grow wild. A lot of times you'll find these in bottomland close to a creek or something like that, but they will grow wild. But I've got some up here where we had those peas sowed last year. They have come up wild up there, and I want to save the seed on those. I hadn't bothered to cut any of those because finding them like that is becoming a thing of the past. But I'm gonna grab a few more here and see what I can end up with. All right, I had a medium-sized mess. Might say I'm gonna get a few more up here, and I'm gonna finish this up, and then guys, we'll go to the house and I'll show you about how to look these things and wash them and clean them, and say more about it there. But if you have any questions about these, I've found several different names for this. I found it called pardon me, get my camera right. I've heard it called Upland Cress, Highland Cress, or Cress, not Crest, but C-R-E-S-S. But I've heard it called those two names. If you go to look for the seed in the store, or you try to order it online, that's what you want to call it. But what we call it around here is Creasy Green, and I don't know how the different names came about. But anyway, we love it. There's, you know, several people I know that's their favorite green around here, and it's got a different taste than mustard or turnips or anything like that, or kale. It has a little different taste, and I don't know how to describe the taste, but to me it's a taste that I grew up knowing about, so I guess it's what you get used to. So guys, I'm gonna finish up here, and then we'll get to the house, and I'll show you how we go through these, pick them, wash them, clean them, and even show you how we cook them and how I season them. So anyway guys, I'm gonna finish up here and I'll catch you back home. Alright, hi guys, I thought I'd come to you today, and we're gonna work on some Creasy Greens. And these things, they're kind of like a dandelion green. They grow pretty close to the ground, and so I thought I'd show you a little bit about what I do to dress them, clean them up. I've already got mud in my good water, but in this side of the sink I've got just regular water with about 2 tablespoons of salt, and I'm going to put them down in here. You want to treat these just like regular greens, whether it be mustard or turnips or collards or you know, something along those lines. But we're going to put them in this water, and I'm going to let them soak for a little while, because with all this rain that we've had recently, they've got a lot of mud that's splashed up on them. So I want to be sure that I get all that cleaned off. But let me show you what I do here to prepare them. Now some people don't do this, but most of the folks around here, this is the way they want them. But I will bring them together and just cut that center out just like that, and then just put the stem and the leaves over in this clean water. And so we're going to work on this. And what you can can these just like any other green, or you can fix them and eat them just like you would any other green. This, when I was growing up, this was considered a poor man's New Year's Day green, because these things actually, I remember growing up, they grew wild just about everywhere, in old cornfields and things like that. It wasn't nothing to find them. And as I'm doing this, I try to pick out all the bad leaves and any trash. I try to when I'm gathering them in the field, and if I haven't already did a video on that, I will do one when you see this. But try to clean as much of the trash off of them as you possibly can. This is time consuming to stand here and look them, but I don't want nothing bad going into them. But guys, I just think it's something to be able to harvest food in the dead of winter, or well, in this case it's fall. But if you put some salt in your rinse water, a lot of the grit and dirt, anything like that, that should take care of that problem. But thought I'd show a little bit about this, and this is the way we do it around here. It's the way I've always done it growing up. And you can get the seeds. Now I will say this green is actually referred to as Upland Cress if you want to look for the seeds. That's what I know it to be called, because some of our local stores around will carry Creasy seed, but that's what they call it, is Upland Cress. So if you go to looking for it in your seed store, that's what you want to call it. You can probably order it online too, but I have a few that's what you might say heritage seed from here, and so that's some of what this is. I did buy a little bit and mix with it because I wanted me a good supply of these things. We try to can some every year, and believe it or not, we have a local produce store that they actually sell these. I think someone probably grows them and harvests them, I don't know, and they sell to them. But I'm going to let them just soak in that water while I'm getting these ready. And once I get them all ready, I'll just let them sit here and soak for a little bit. And I'll probably rinse them at least 3 times, if not maybe a little bit more, to be sure we get all that off. But if you're not afraid of just going through them and cleaning them, guys, if you've never had them, I'm telling you, you don't know what you're missing out on. Take that and some fresh cornbread. That's good eating. But like I say, and I'll show you when we get ready to prepare them, how I do it. Try to look through them as I'm going here if I see anything. This first part's just getting them ready. That's where the work's at. Once you get past this, it's not that bad. Alright guys, I'm going to go on and finish this up, and I'll get back to you when I'm done, and I'll get ready to cook them. Alright guys, see what I did here. See, I just take me a paper towel, lay it out, and that way if I see any trash or anything that doesn't look like it belongs in there, it's easier to wipe it off on a paper towel than it is to try to shake it off or whatever. Another thing, always check on the back side of your leaves for any mud that accumulated. And I'm going to throw this leaf out right here. It just don't look right. And it is time consuming, I will say that. But it's worth it. At least I think it is. Excuse me. So I'm going to give it another rinse and we'll see what it looks like, what our water looks like. And these things will be about ready to put on here in a little bit. Alright, just thought I'd slip in and tell you that. Alright, I'm getting ready to season this. I kind of like this pan here because it's just convenient. Another reason I like it, I could use a frying pan on the stove, but it's a black top. And guys, that black top's aggravating to keep clean, especially grease. Boiling something on it's not that bad, but grease on it is terrible. And here's another little thing I like, a bacon press. And I can regulate my temperature a little easier with this. So anyway, I'm going to fry this out and get this ready. And I'll be back when I put them on. We want these to wilt down just a little bit. I need to get some stuff out of my way. Those wilt down, I'll put some more in there. Put the lid on them. We'll let them steam for a minute. Show you what else I got going on over here. There's the fat back after I fried it out, but check this out. One pot of coffee going. Oh yeah. Good eat, good country eating, folks. So let this wilt down good, and as it wilts down, I'm going to put the lid on it and we'll let it simmer for a good while till it'll turn dark, just like mustard greens or anything else. Alright, I'm going to put a lid on this, and I'll be back when it's done. Alright guys, these things have cooked down now. I don't know, I think they've been about 45 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes, something like that. I might let them go for another 10 minutes, but the biggest thing, don't let them boil dry of water. You want to keep water to them. And but they'll turn dark green, just like, you know, your regular mustard green, turnip greens, whatever, collards, things like that. These will do the same thing. So guys, I'm going to just leave them here for a few more minutes. And this is good with some good old homemade cornbread and pinto beans and fried fatback like I had, or maybe some field peas, you know, whatever. So guys, I'm going to get off of here today. Thought I'd just do this little video showing you how we do our creasy greens. So I hope you find this enjoyable. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and we'll talk to you the next time. Thank you from Little NC Farmer.